floods, collapsing roads, and leaving 30,000 people without power. Since then, city and county officials have waited to see if funds would become available through the Emergency Watershed Protection Program from the Natural Resources Conservation Service to help with repairs not covered by other federal and state emergency response programs. And their patience is paid off as officials announced last week that a $5.9 million grant will go to repair 18 projects in Escambia, Okaloosa, Calhoun, and Jackson counties. USDA's Emergency Watershed Protection Program alleviates hazards to life and property caused by floods, fires, windstorms, and other natural occurrences. To learn more and see a list of the approved projects, go to our website at southeastagnet.com. Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. If this had been an actual emergency, such as a hurricane or tornado, official messages would have followed the alert tones. WOCA serves the Marion County area. This concludes the test of the emergency alert system.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala. Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you right.
All right, it's 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Matt Gibbs is in the studio from Sunrise Automotive and also Crossroad Auto Sales. So if you need your car fixed, that's where you would go. If you want to get another car, a newer car, that's also where you would go. It might actually be, maybe it won't even be newer. Sometimes it's just better, but older. Does that ever happen?
Yeah.
How are you doing, Matt?
Good. How are you?
Yeah. I'll learn how to work out this stuff. So this is why. You see, I was going to come in last week, I promised you, but you guys were busy anyway, so I don't feel too bad that I couldn't come in. So, yeah, I ran into a bunch of busy stuff too. My computer crashed, and everything was just happening at once.
I know, isn't that crazy how that all happens?
So, but you were flooded too, right? You never open on Saturdays, but
the car lot's open on Saturdays, but not.
Oh, the car lot is okay.
Yeah. From 10 to 2.
You worn out? You look worn out.
I am so worn out, dude.
Why?
It's just been
nonstop.
Crazy. Yeah, just nonstop.
So you had to work. Did you have to work in the garage even though it wasn't open on Saturday?
No.
Okay. So when you close down, it's a commitment to yourself. You don't. The cars have to wait.
Well, I'm doing something completely different on Saturday. You know, me and Philip, we got the cars on the lot that we tend to and start and move and. So it keeps us going.
So when you get a car that is for sale, do you go over all the safety things? Like for example, I mean, how do you test like airbags? How do you test stuff like that?
Well, an airbag, if there's like I bought a car last week, okay?
Yeah.
So let me give you the process of what happened to this car. I bought the car. Then it comes to the shop. I formulated our own safety check, okay? And we check the seat belts and we check all the lights and the wipers and not only, the brakes and all the stuff, the normal stuff that you would expect things to be checked. We kind of, we make sure all the seat belts, not only do they retract, but they lock in. And then we do complete, all the operating systems of the vehicle. We run diagnostics on everything. So if there's a hidden transmission code or a hidden engine code or ABS code, and we try to detect it. We do the best that we can, but every once in a while something will pop up here and there, and then you just address it, you fix it. So everything has to go through our shop and go through the whole process, and after it's gone through the process, then we get it cleaned up, then we get it stickered up and put out on the lot.
So my car has on the side of the seats, and I'm guessing this is everywhere, this label that says airbags. There's airbags in the side of the seats.
Mm-hmm.
What does that protect?
You're set from side impact.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Have you ever seen like a slow motion video of that thing working?
Yeah, it's. I've actually deployed them, just for fun.
Uh-huh. How do you do that?
You just put power and ground to it, and it explodes. And
So if somebody rear ends you low impact, do they?
no, there's sensors throughout the car, and those sensors have to trip, and that trip, when those sensors trip, is what it sends to the power goes to the computer, and the computer come in, and all this stuff happens faster than you can blink an eye.
I know. Well, I'm convinced I was saved by airbags in the accident I was in. I mean, I don't remember it. It was so fast. I don't remember it.
Right. You can't see it inflate and deflate.
I had no idea.
It's just there.
I saw the lady pulling in front of me, and I said no, and that's it.
That's it.
I saw a white. I don't know if it was because I got knocked in the head or if I was actually seeing the smoke from the thing.
No, there's a powder inside.
But there was no powder on my legs. I didn't see powder on anything after the fact.
There's powder in there. Trust me. It leaves a funny taste in your mouth.
Really? How come I didn't see it anywhere?
I don't know. Well, because
I thought it was dead. I thought it was in heaven. I said, "Well, this must be it."
No, you see a light, not a cloud of smoke.
So I guess that would be one of my concerns. If you're buying a used car, are all the things in place that would have been in place with a brand new car regarding safety things?
Well, I mean,
as much as you can, huh? As
much as I can.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why I'm a little bit different than most dealerships. I'm in a unique situation. I own a garage.
Yeah.
So, I do a lot of work for other dealers in our area. And there are some that are good, that do it the way that they're supposed to do it. And then there are those that are not good, to be honest with you. I mean, they just sell junk. I was at this auction when I bought a car last week. I was at an auction. I bought this car. And I looked at another car. I saw this car. It caught my eye. Mm-hmm. We call it, this car had eye appeal. So it caught my eye. I went over and I looked at it. And I could tell, okay, this is not for me. I already found too many issues with the car. So I just leave it alone and we'll go to the next car. Well, I went to a dealership that I do a little bit of work for. And I went over there to drop off a car that I'd been working on. And that car that I had looked at the auction the day before, I went to the auction on Wednesday. This is Thursday. And the car that I saw that had too many issues for me to even consider was sitting on their lot, ready to be sold.
Oh, wow. Did you say, there's got problems?
I didn't say nothing because,
this is what men should have this for when they're looking for a wife. Should have somebody like you who specializes in seeing the problems with women. Because she's got eye appeal, but she's got lots of problems.
I'm not even going to go there, Larry. We're not going to touch that one with it.
Well, and women should have it too, to find the problems with the guys.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's one-sided. Are you ready for the phones?
Yeah, sure.
All right, the number is 622-9622 if you want to speak to Matt. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, guys. Hey, I like the direction you were going in, Larry. See, my stepson's got a real older car he purchased, and if there's a crack in the windshield and it needs to be replaced because it's getting kind of serious. I believe that the antenna is in this windshield, and they were thinking of going to. They think they located another windshield that does not have the antenna in the windshield. Would they require an antenna to operate the radio without that?
Yes, they would. And I don't know what kind of car is this.
It's an older Chevy. It's a late 80s Chevy. I think it's an Impala. I'm not sure.
Okay. You'd be surprised what it would cost for an aftermarket windshield with the antenna installed and everything. It's not that much money. And then on top of that, if you get a windshield without the antenna, now you got to add an antenna. Where are you going to put the antenna? Is it going to be a just stick-on antenna? They don't work as near as good as the factory antennas do. So by the time you get done doing all that stuff, it may be just better just to price out and see what it would cost to have a windshield with an antenna. Does he live here in Ocala?
No, it's out of state.
Okay.
When you buy or have a windshield replaced with an antenna in the windshield is installed, and what do they got to like hook that up to the radio?
Yeah, they do it all the time. They do it all the time.
A couple of little wires that come out of the windshield that they wire up.
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep, it's not a big deal at all.
Not a big deal at all.
Nope.
Okay. All right, I'll pass the info on. Well, maybe I know kids they don't like to spend money.
Yeah, I understand.
They rather go to the junkyard and see what they can come up with. So we'll see what happens. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Gosh, I remember. Thank you. I remember when I had an antenna on the outside of my car, and back in the days, at the Cascades, I would work the night shift, and I would come out 7 in the morning, whatever it was, and my antenna would be gone. I can't tell you how many times somebody just unscrewed my antenna and left with it. It was crazy. It was like I didn't know what to do. I even super glued it one time thinking it'll make it too hard. Didn't stop them.
Yeah, no.
Why? I don't know. What do they do with them?
They're $9, you know?
So
just for a fixed
So they just do it just to be mischievous,
I guess, or they got someone keeps stealing their antenna, so they go out.
So do you think the antenna in the windshield was an idea because of that, or because it's actually a better antenna?
I don't think it's really a better antenna. I think it was
aesthetics.
It was a technology. Here it is, technology. Keep the car sleeker. There's no antenna.
Nothing to be knocked around at the car wash.
Yeah. Yeah. I have seen an antenna just beat the tar out of some cars before.
And if you don't put the antenna on, I don't know how many people have CBs. I have a CB. Have you ever seen my CB? It's a gift I got from Robin.
Yes, I saw it.
Yeah, I don't hook it up very much. But it says if you turn it on without putting the antenna on the roof, that you'll burn it out.
Yeah. I don't understand why exactly.
That's the ground, I guess.
It is part of the grounding system.
It's so hard to hear a CB, though. All the guys on CBs talk the same. Have you ever noticed that? They all have the same voice.
What's your handle?
My handle is Papa the Trunk.
Papa the Trunk.
Yeah.
So if you get pulled over, the first thing you're going to do is say, Papa the Trunk.
I'm Papa the Trunk. Papa the Trunk. That's right. Because that's what they say that's right. When you pull up, Papa the Trunk.
Papa the Trunk.
What's in that thing? I only get pulled over in the North, which everybody talks that way. Papa the Trunk.
You never get pulled over in the South?
I really don't. I don't know why. I think they see the Florida license plate and think I'm hauling guns or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
I'm not really sure why.
No, it's because when they all came down here back in the day, everybody got pulled. It's when they were going through Georgia. That was the old thing. I remember when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
My relatives would come down from up north to visit us and said, "Man, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with this Georgia place?"
They got pulled over a lot in Georgia?
Yeah, a lot in Georgia.
Oh, really? So it's the same reason, license plates.
Yeah.
Well, see, I always get pulled over in New Jersey. And it's got to be the license plate.
It's got to be.
So, it's profiling, isn't it?
It is.
I got a brand new license plate from George Albright, by the way.
Oh, you
Sent it to me in the mail.
Wow. You sent him a check, too, didn't you?
Of course. All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back. Matt Gibbs is here. He's unwinding. He had a hard weekend, so I'm helping him unwind. We'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. After some dense morning fog, we'll see some sunshine, followed by increasing clouds today, high 76 to 80. And partly cloudy tonight with areas of fog forming late tonight and lasting into tomorrow morning. Tonight's low 60 to 64. Later tomorrow, partly sunny and warm, high 77 to 81. On Wednesday, sunshine, some clouds, and even warmer, the high 81 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Guy Harvey Checking is now exclusively available at Gateway Bank. With Guy Harvey Checking, you will receive Gateway's premium checking account plus several other Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation features, including membership to the Guy Harvey Hammerhead Nation, free Guy Harvey t-shirt, and an exclusive Guy Harvey debit card. At Gateway Bank, we will make a $50 donation to the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation for every new account open. This is just one more reason why people choose Gateway Bank. Sign up today for your exclusive Guy Harvey checking account with Gateway. Details available at gatewaybankcfl.com, member FDIC.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Real estate is the largest and most personal investment that any of us will ever make. Be sure to tune in Tuesdays at 10 a.m. when Bob Kennedy, owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty, will be answering your questions and discussing real estate. So remember, that's Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Call 622-9622 with your questions. It pays to be an informed buyer or seller. This is news you can use from Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty and your friends here at WOCA.
All right, 19 minutes after 10 o'clock. The phone lines are open if you have a question for Matt. Remember, Matt will answer your questions about the car repairs that you need or the car you want to buy. He does have a dealership called Crossroad Auto Sales right there at the same location as Sunrise Automotive, which is where I go for my repairs, although I didn't go last week, even though I need repairs. I need brakes, I think. I'm not sure. I mean, sometimes they feel perfect, and sometimes they're not so perfect.
Well, we'll check them out and see exactly.
So I'll be there on these days. I just have to... time is an issue for me.
Time is an issue for a lot of us.
If I had a second car, then it wouldn't be such an issue.
I can fix that for you, Larry.
That's right. That's right. You sure can. So when you're working, and somebody asks you for an estimate, I have a question about estimates. Is it always? Do you always highball it? Do you always give them a number probably higher than it'll be, or?
No, we try. I mean, a lot of times when people come in and want an estimate, I want to know why do you want an estimate? People come in and say, how much to do this?
Oh, gosh.
And it's like, why do you want to do this? Well, because of this. Well, it happened the other day. It's like, I can give you a price on that, but that's not going to fix that. If you want me to,
I see.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So, but when we get down to the root of it and we know what's going on with the car, then I try to give them an exact estimate. And if anything changes, I always call the customer and tell
So rather than me saying to you, what would it cost to get my brakes fixed? I should just say, Matt, would you look at my brakes?
Yeah. Or what would it cost to do it? And we're still going to give you that.
Because I have no idea. Maybe I'm even wrong. Maybe that's not what the problem is.
It happened with you. Remember when you came in and I took you for a ride and we determined that one of your hub bearings was bad?
Right.
And I gave you a price, and when you came back to pick up the car, it was actually cheaper than what I told you.
Right.
Because I did a little bit of shopping around. Parts.
I remember that,
Parts are like, my wife, she goes to Winn-Dixie for this, and she goes to Walmart for that, and she goes to Publix for this.
Right.
Because she knows where the best deals are for certain things.
Right.
And parts are the same way on cars. Some companies are better priced on these particular parts, and some are priced better on these particular parts. So I, did a little calling around, which we do that for people, and I could have created more profit for myself and charged you what I told you I was.
Right.
But my philosophy is, if I can save a little bit of money, then my customer gets to save a little money.
Yeah.
And so that's why when you came in to pay the bill, it was a little bit less.
Now, I haven't had this question asked by a mechanic in a long time, but once in a while I'd need a part, let's say like an alternator.
Okay.
And the question would be, do you want a rebuilt one or a new one? And I would always say, well, what's the difference? And it would be the price. The rebuilt one wasn't as expensive.
Pretty much alternators and starters and stuff like that, they're pretty much all rebuilt.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're pretty much all rebuilt. Now, I only, when it comes to stuff like that, I stand my ground. I do this every day. some people will say, "Can you get me a used
That's
one?"
a good point, because I have no idea what the answer should be.
Right, and I'll say, here, we're going to sell you this alternator. It's been remanufactured, but then there's certain companies that remanufacture things to a certain degree. And that's where I've learned over the years. In other words, I might be able to get this remanufactured alternator $50 cheaper buying it from this particular company, and then I've actually taken them apart and look. And what I've noticed and what I've seen is that whoever remanufactured this particular alternator took it apart to fix it,
right,
and they replaced whatever it was that was bad. They didn't recondition the entire alternator. They put a set of brushes or a diode or a regulator or something inside the alternator, put it back together, and now theirs is $50 cheaper. But
it's going to break soon.
75% of the stuff inside of it's still old stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I deal with companies that when I buy a reconditioned alternator, 99% of the time it comes with a lifetime warranty. So it's warranted forever.
So why is it that there's hardly any new ones sold?
Most of the new alternators, like for instance, yours is a 2005 Forenza. Right? Okay, so even if you went to the Suzuki dealer and bought an alternator from them, it would be a remanufactured alternator. It wouldn't be brand new. It would be remade. Because that particular alternator only may fit an 05 to an 07.
Oh, and they stopped making them.
And they stopped making them. They changed the design of it. So what they do is, if you came in and I put an alternator on your car, they'll charge me more for a core charge than what they charge me for the alternator, because they have to have that core back so that they can recondition it and it can go on the next person's car.
I got you. And is that what happens when a car goes to the junkyard? They're just kind of pieces are taken out and sent to the different shops?
Yeah, they have, there's companies that go over there and buy the catalytic converters and alternators and starters and compressors and all the stuff that, is bolted onto the cars.
What do you do with what is in the gas tank itself? Well, there's something in there. Is it the pump?
Well, a lot of the newer cars,
so when the gas pump goes...
The fuel pump.
Okay, fuel pump. You have to change the whole gas tank?
You just replace that.
Oh, you can open it up somehow?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a big giant, door at the top. Then you take it out, and a lot of the fuel pumps and the sending units and all that are what they call a module. It's an assembly.
Really? And you have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Hey, this is Bruce. Listen, I just recently had an alternator in my GMC replaced, and oh man, it's expensive compared to it was years ago. It was like $500 or $600, and they said the reason it cost so much is because the GMC alternator has a regulator built right in it separately. I'm going to hang up and let you explain, okay?
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Well, back in the day when I started working on these things we call cars, we used to at the dealership we used to be able to rebuild them ourselves. Everything you could buy all the parts. You could buy the regulator, the stator, you could buy the brushes. But what's happened is just like everything else, everything is transformed. Everything has been more technical. There's more computerized. It's all soldered now. It's all solid state now. Things have really changed inside alternators and starters and stuff like that, and we don't rebuild them anymore. The days of rebuilding an alternator.
It's probably good for you in a way.
Well, it's good and it's bad because we used to make the labor. It used to be more labor intensive because now we got to rebuild it. So, but now with all the solid state stuff, it's just not practical anymore to go in there and rebuild these things. We can buy them way cheaper than what we can rebuild them for when we add in the labor factor into the thing. So a lot of these, newer alternators across the board. Hey, I put an alternator on a Cadillac that was $1,400 to put an alternator on a Cadillac.
Wow.
Because this particular alternator actually had coolant hoses going. It had coolant that would travel through the alternator to keep it cool, to keep it from getting hot. So, the prices of things are all relative to the technology and what we have to do to
I never heard of that. A cooler. So, what, the water actually goes around it? Or?
Yeah, it goes through the alternator to keeps it cooler. I've seen alternators where oil gets injected through them on certain applications. So and it was kind of like my dad. He'd go to the grocery store and pay $2 for a loaf of bread. I remember when a loaf of bread was a nickel. Well,
right.
It's just not that way anymore. It is what it is.
Wow.
And we have to deal with it.
Well, and batteries are way up from. I mean, if I can remember batteries, I guess what, $30 or $40.
Yeah,
not anymore.
Yeah, now they cost me $110, $120.
Wow.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And the batteries is. If I have a junk battery, an old battery out of a car, I got a guy that will show up at my shop and give me $14 for a core because they need the lead out of the battery. So,
wow.
Wow.
Well, I'll be by. I got to get my oil changed, my headlight changed. My front left tire is leaking slow, and then I'll have you look at my brakes.
Okay.
All those things. That's my list for Matt.
That's that.
And I hope I don't have an alternator on the list anytime soon. That sounds too hard to come up with the money for. What is your phone number, Matt?
My phone number is 352-690-1993.
And where are you located?
We are located at 1800 Northwest 10th Street.
All right. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Larry.
Have a good day.
You too.
Don't let it get to you.
I'm not.
Where's that song? I got a song of yours right here. There it is. Thank you, Matt.
Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. Will treat you right.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu speaks to Congress tomorrow, stating his case against any nuclear deal.